Let's see, St. Louis.
I just see a tent looking through the dark.
Dockland and Fort Wayne, Indiana. I remember that. And we did have, that's right, you did drive, let's see, we did drive from Chicago. There was a friend of yours and a friend of Lester's. His name was Joe Scott. God have mercy on his soul. It's not the Irish in me, Doc, because I'm not Irish, but that's the expression. Now, but looking at Lester, I think this is a very funny piece of business. We were talking about a pianist. Now, here's the gag. Doc says that Erskine was a pianist. And Joe Scott says, no, I didn't think he was a pianist. I thought he was an exhibitionist. Ha, 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 ha. We all laughed at the gag at the time. I don't think it's funny now. But it's something that I remembered while we were in the car driving to this convention. Oh, I would like to tell you a story about another individual that I won't dare do it. You know him, I know him, Lester knows him. We all know him.
Tell it.
Oh, no, I don't dare tell this.
Why not?
Oh, no. I have been excommunicated from the family, well, of his family, by telling the story. And I don't dare repeat it. Well, anyway, Doc, the weather here is very nice. The skies are not blue, they call it smog sky. I mean smog blue. It's a new name for a color. If you can't see beyond your nose, why, it's a smog. If you can see beyond your nose, it's the Chamber of Commerce that is speaking. If you get an order, well, you're fortunate. If you don't get an order, well, you're not in the right place at the right time. I was telling Monsieur about an hour and a half or 2 hours ago that I was ready to go home and to bed because I'm not living with the guy. I wouldn't trust him. I've always been suspicious. Now that he wears a beret. Oh, Jesus, Doc, please. Don't be pushing me around like that. Before I leave this job. Oh, yes, by the way, Doc, here's a little gag that I remember Jim telling, don't cry, little flower girl. Don't cry. No, this is Doc's. This is the one that Doc used to tell. Oh, he told it for Ann, yes.
Ann did it.
No, Doc did it.
Okay.
All right, now don't cut in on this thing because the script doesn't read on your side. It's reading on my side. Don't cry, little flower girl. Don't cry. I'll pick up your goddamn violets. That's an old chestnut. That's way back there in the northwoods of Wisconsin, I think.
What about crepes and eggs?
Oh, no, not crepes. That's under the viaduct. The root beer and all that other stuff.
And powders?
Well, I do remember a time when I was visiting with Lester. It was just Lester and I, and he was going to show me how good a cook he was. But he says, here, I'm going to make up this batter. So we had some flour.
Doc Mahendra, not me.
You, not Doc. You, no. Wait a minute. You're alone now. You're alone, Lester. You're cooking breakfast for me.
Downstairs in the basement.
In the basement. It is 45 below zero. And he says, the only thing you can fix up for breakfast is pancakes. And there was an old bottle of beer that must have been 4 years old. It was sizzling all over the joint. So you mixed it and said, you had no milk. You had no cream, so you had this bottle of old home brew.
That's right.
And it was one of those electric,
mixers?
No, the pancake makers, or whatever they call them. I'm an old-fashioned cook myself. I like a girdle, you know, because there's nothing like a girdle to make a hot cake on.
Real?
Oh, no. Girdle and the girdle. You have your own way and I have my own way. Now, there's a difference between the girdle and the girdle.
Go ahead.
You make your pancakes on the girdle and I'll make them on the griddle. And here's these things, he's pouring them and they're always, almost up to the ceiling. And I says, what are you going to do with these things? Well, he says, the goddamn dog will eat them. Poor dog was so hungry. And he ate Lester that time, that morning. So, this isn't funny, Doc. We're just sitting here, I hope to Christ we can rub this off. Because there is no continuity to it.
So what? Well, anyway.
It's not funny.
So what? You laugh at it.
No, because...
anything.
I can't get some of these little situations that have happened.
All right, you worry about it.
Well, anyway, Doc, I did see Marilyn, that is, Doc, I don't say Marilyn Monroe because Marilyn Carter almost looks as good as Marilyn Monroe, but she's a lot younger. And she did her rent act at the Magic Club in Chicago just before Christmas. It was a Christmas club. Magic show is what it really was. And she was wonderful. Frank was there, and Lila was there, and, most everybody was there. After that, we did go out and have a cup of coffee. Frank didn't ask me out for a drink. I thought maybe he was getting a little bit tight. Not because he was tight, because maybe Lila figured that it would cost too much money to get here to there, and she wanted a new fur coat or whatever it was that she wanted. I don't know, maybe a new automobile. But she was wonderful. Marilyn was wonderful. She's got a good voice, a good distant voice. The suitcase bit that she does is wonderful. Her voice modulation is very, let me put it this way, excellent. Not professional. She does need a little polish. Show me a bag that don't. And, what else can I think of? I mean, you sort of confused me, Lester. Not confused me, but confused
come
me.
to the shop. What the thing I'm trying to figure out, what the hell made you come out here? What made you leave the shop and close the shop up and come out here?
The weather.
It wasn't guessed.
No, the weather. I just can't take it anymore. I'm just an old fuss button on it. The bones are creaking all over the joint. I'm slipping and sliding off. That's it. I'm not running away from anything. The only thing I'm running away from is weather. Work, I've got more than I can handle.
You see Carter lately?
I just told you that I saw Carter before Christmas at this Christmas party where Marilyn, his daughter, did the vent bit, and I thought she was very good.
How's he feel?
And certainly, I'm very happy to tell you, Doc, that Lester, at no time, was her teacher. Oh, boy, that is really something. She is a success simply because she has a martial figure. Now, it's not a Lester technique in ventriloquism that makes a success of an individual. It is a martial figure. That is very important. So we're not having anything but martial figures. Doc. Oh, by the way, Ann, in case you're not doing anything and you want to make an extra buck and you can't do it squeezing carrots or celery or whatever it is that you're squeezing down there, I know it can't be Doc because he's too big, you can't get your arms around him. Get yourself a martial figure. You won't need a routine. I'll put the whole routine right in the figure, and all you have to do is walk out on the stage, pull the string, and you're set. So you get yourself that $75 and $100, $1 if you don't understand bucks down there in the South. And you get about 3 of those a week. Who wants to squeeze carrots? Come on, Lester, you say something.
Well, how's Carter? How do you look? Does he look okay?
Huh?
Do you look okay to Frank Carter?
Oh, yes, I thought he was all right. He maybe a little bit on the heavy side,
Why don't he answer letters when the Hendra writes to him and here?
Oh, legal business, real estate.
He doesn't dabble with magic anymore, does he?
No, he had reached the stage where he found out that magic was something that cost money. He had neglected his legal talents for years, hoping that he might make a nickel on magic. And now that he found out that magic doesn't pay off, he had went back to the thing that really pays the rent, the taxes, and buys the clothing and, the necessities of life.
Yeah, but he's doing lecturing now. He's lecturing on musical instruments.
I would, so help me, he told me that he was lecturing on music. If his lecturing on music will be anything like his family band, if you remember, Les, they was dark and they was lighter and they was all the kids. Everyone blew his own tune.
Right.
They never finished together, but evidently the tune made it possible to put Judge Carter back on the bench. That's all that counted. Who cared whether they were in tune or whether they were out of tune, sawed logs or not, because sometimes I think they did.
Now he's buying all old instruments, all antique instruments.
Oh, hell, he isn't buying old. He's so old now, why should he try and add any more antiques to the bones that he's already accumulated? Some of them are
with old instruments and demonstrating them and playing on them, and demonstrating the music.
Well, perhaps if I write him a letter and sell you, could I wrap you up in a package and send you down to the river?
Good.
He may send you up as a bag of bones in the corner, and before long, Frank is nearsighted. He might pick you up and play you as a bull fiddle or something.
Good. Good.
You think he could get a tune out of you?
Sure. I can whistle.
Well, at least you could squeak and squawk.
I can whistle.
Well, it would be very funny, you, with that, now let's see, a bull fiddle with a skull, no, they call them berets here, don't they?
Beret.
A beret, a bull fiddle with a beret.
Right.
Of course, if he put a little bit of brass on top of it, he could use it as a bumbus. That is something that you saw back and forth and then bang up and down. It gives you two sounds.
Right.
They call it two-dimension. Now, if you had any flesh after he got you, it would be three-dimension.
Right.
In the deep freeze, I think you'll keep for years, especially up there, it's 30, 40, 50 below zero.
If I'd be in Chicago, I'd be in the deep freeze right now.
You're in the deep freeze. Hell's bells, your balls have been in the deep freeze for 50 years.
Right.
Because you won't admit the fact.
I admit it.
Oh, you admit it to me, but not to anyone else.
I'm admitting it to Doc there.
Now listen, shut that thing off for a minute. Now let's play it back. Let me hear what it's all about. No, come on, play it back.
You ever heard of two drunks sitting down reminiscing and don't know what the hell they're talking about? Well, now you got it. It's a couple of stew bums, like a couple of bums over a bar and talking over a glass of beer. The next thing they'll be crying into our beer. And you'll be, that's what's all you hear now is a couple of stew bums talking. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We don't know our ankle from our elbow. So I hope you go we can get this all together, because we don't give a goddamn what we put on this tape, because as long as we waste it and use it up, so you can hear us chattering here. And you'll hear plenty of chatter. What's the name? Frank shut me up and I gave him a chance to yak. Now he's going to work and say to me, well, go ahead, now you talk. So I don't want to talk, because he's liable to say to me, all you do is yak. So I give him a chance to talk. So go ahead, Frank, you do the talking. I want to take a drink. Hell with you.
I know, but where's mine?
Where's yours?
Oh, God, you've got 12 ounces of it. Where's
Wait
mine?
a second, I'll get you yours.
You mean you're
You
good?
can hear me. I'm going over to the kitchen, Doc.
You're giving
You can hear me
me...
way in the kitchen. You can hear me way in the kitchen.
Oh,
We're
God.
talking here.
So help me.
And when I turn this up so a little bit so I get a better sound on the goddamn thing. Now you can hear me way back here. And you can hear me way in the kitchen. I'm going to the kitchen to mix some more liniment here.
I don't know whether he's out of sound or not right now, but very selfish, you know. Being an old man, he doesn't want to miss anything, and he's always trying to get in the act. In other words, they say he's always on. Well, I have never known when he wasn't on. Yeah, I hear his footsteps. The place isn't too big. You know, it's about 40.
You hear that? Don't you? That means that he's going to have another drink. Go ahead, Frank. You take over.
You see? Just won't get out of the act. As Jimmy Durante always says, everybody's trying to get into the act. Well, I'm trying to get out of this thing. But damned if I'm going to leave until I finish that bottle. I'm not going to have him drink up all of my stuff. Well, anyway, Doc, if all goes right, I've been looking at a number of places. There's one place that I like in particular that I might rent and move all of my stuff. You know, that is the shop and tools and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, but it'll be far enough away from my pet peeve so that it'll cost him car fare to come to see me. And I know that he won't spend it. He'll have to make at least one transfer, and I know he doesn't like to ride these streetcars that they have in this part of the city or this part of the country. And the bus. Oh, the buses are horrible. They don't give you a ride. Well, let's not go into that. I could, but I won't. So, it'll be quite an event. Here I go again, looking for words. Remember, Doc, this is way in the wee small hours of the morning. I'm going to see that I'm far enough away from this character so that he doesn't visit me too often. When he does, he'll have money in his pocket to say, well, now, I have a pupil who wants to buy a dummy, and here is the deposit that he gave me. Of course, I'll take away his money before he leaves. I'll see that he leaves it. No, I'll take it away from him, in other words. And then send him back to his sanctum sanctorium, which is a studio. I don't know if you've ever been in it or not. It's one flight up. Oh, there might be, let's see, there's 3 or 4 rooms. You know, I think the guy is really conceited. There's mirrors all over the joint. I just noticed it. There's folding doors, you know, these drawers that go back, and they're not sliding doors.
Kitchen, don't forget.
They're folding doors, and every door has got a great big full-length mirror in it. And he's forever looking into these things. I really paid no attention to it till just now.
We had our pictures taken.
I know we had our pictures. I made some pictures, and he posed like a ham.
That's right.
He was like one of these little cheesecake girls, you know, that comes from Baganese, Iowa, or Kokomo, or, you know, some of these little towns.
I hope you get some prints of those pictures.
And believe me, if you want, Doc and Ann, the guy has thrown his profile at the camera. He has a profile. Ha, 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 ha.
John Barrymore.
I always thought it was my profile. It was the last word.
But he got into it through looking glass.
Oh, gee whiz, I hope to God that you're never going to be like this. Doc, please don't. Don't let it go to your head. At least I know that it's gone to your stomach.
Well, tell him you'll send him a set of pictures anyway.
Oh, yes, you mean a set of these pictures that we made here this afternoon?
Yeah.
Or this morning? It was this morning, because I was downtown about noon, so it was this morning. You know the guy...
Does get up in the morning now.
Huh?
I do get up in the morning.
Oh, he does get up in the morning, yeah. About 1 o'clock. He calls that morning.
Right.
Well, go ahead, Les, now, come on.
Now you talked about the folding doors, about the looking glasses, and the pictures. You took the pictures with the camera. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning right now, Doc. Now, this thing is nearly... we haven't got it full yet. This side is not quite full yet, but we may chatter some more. before we shut up. And then, now this tape I'll save, and then I'll put the other tape on Monday, I guess, or Tuesday, because I want to send some more stuff on the other tape. If I can get Max Terhune up here, and Frank, if he can get Max Terhune up here, and get Clifford Guest up here, and Bergen, which I don't think we can get him up here. I don't think he can do it, because he tried to organize a society of...
I think so, Les. Give me a couple of days, will you?
Okay, take your time.
And I think that I can organize the party, and because I have an appointment with Cliff Monday or Tuesday, I don't know which it is, and this newspaper man, Times, he's an artist for the Times newspaper here in L.A., L.A. Times, is that what it is? And I'll see Max in the morning, and if Royce comes to Royce,
maybe we can get...
We'll get them all together at the hotel. And from there, why, it really doesn't matter, as long as we get them all together. And, of course, you, being the guest of honor, I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any reason why. You're the oldest one.
They'll give me the brush-ups.
I don't see it. No, Les.
Yeah,
That's typical of a man your age.
Yeah.
I don't know why you
in
feel
Hollywood,
that.
they don't think that. I tell you the truth. They have no principle, no honor.
Whether it's Hollywood or whether it's Rhinelander or whether it's in Doc is down in San Antonio, is it?
Yeah.
San Antonio. It don't make any difference. People are people everywhere.
Look what he did to Doc.
I don't
He
care what
organizes a state organization and everything else, and they steal the whole thing away from him.
Hey, Doc, by the way, were you at the convention, let's see, this last Texas convention last year? When was it, in July or something?
They gave him a big celebration. They gave him a big send-off. Mike Zenz and I sung the record.
Oh, no, Mike's been dead a year ago. What are you doing? More than a year ago. What are you talking about?
Oh, this last one, no.
No, this last summer. I was supposed to go to it, and I couldn't make it because I was too busy. I didn't make any convention this year. And, of course, this coming year, I'll be in California, therefore I'm going to miss the Chicago SAM. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be here. No, this is definite, Les. This is definite. I'll be here, and so I'm going to miss the one in Chicago, which will be the SAM, and the IBM will be in Louisville, I think, Louisville, Kentucky.
Right.
So I'll miss both conventions, because I will be here. Now that's definite. When I find this little hole that I'm looking for, I'll be back in Chicago and pack up all of my stuff. That is the tools and not the benches and things like that. I won't ship out here because I can build them myself. But my vices and tools and some power tools. I don't have many of them, just one. I have 3 of them. I'll be here. And very definitely, this is where I'm going to set shop. Not that I want to go Hollywood, as the people say around here, but it's just because, as I told you before, it's weather I'm running away from. By the way, Doc, I had one bad fall this year, not this year, but late last year. I pulled another ligament. If I pull any more ligaments,
you don't have enough left.
I don't have any legs left to walk on. I'm going to be crawling around like an alligator or something. Don't be picking your nose, please. If you want to have a little fun on your own hook, that's your own business.
Right, that's what I'm having.
And, oh yes. No, I don't think I won't be able to stop on my way back home to see you. No, I think I'm going to change my way. I'm going up to San Francisco and from there back home. I think that's the way I'm going, Les.
Petey is making figures for the San Francisco Magic Shop.
Well, that's all right. Let him make figures.
Exclusive.
Well, we make figures for a magic shop. I don't make figures for anybody but ventriloquists. There's no fun making figures for magic dealers. I make figures for ventriloquists. And I have a lot more fun doing it. In case you don't hear this noise, Dr. Man, this machine is just grinding. It reminds me, I was in Long Beach today, and they have a lot of oil pumps. You know, they go up and down. They look like elephants that are digging down for a worm or something. Not a chicken, because a chicken sort of pecks, but these things are long and slow and deliberate, and all they do is go up and down, and that's just the way this machine sounds right now. I mean, it's the vibration of the machine or the reels or whatever it is that's going on around here. Oh, I don't know whether they'll hear it or not. They may hear it.
They won't get it.
Don't know whether it will register or not.
No.
But anyway, before this tape is spent, you know that I have been in the loop for the past 3 years, or a little over, somewhere around there. And every morning I get up real early, not too early, so around 6:30, between 6:30 and 7. Make my pot of coffee, sometimes breakfast, or, you know, ham and eggs or toast. Could be a hard roll, or sometimes a sweet roll, fruit juice, or whatever it is. Dress and get on the bus, and I travel about 2 miles east. Then I have to transfer from there onto a streetcar, and from 55th and 9th, it takes me, they've got me all screwed up now. It used to go down Clark Street, but now since they had put in one-way streets in the loop, the down streetcar runs over to Dearborn, if you remember where Dearborn is, and then it goes to Lakes, so I have to walk 1 block west to the shop. Streetcar used to throw me off in front of the joint. Now I have to walk 1 block. It's not too bad going home, because as I get out of the building, the streetcar goes south on the street that I'm on, which isn't too bad. But that is my routine. Up in the morning, cook my own breakfast, get a lousy meal in a stinking restaurant, finish my work, head for home, cook supper.
Bang to bed.
Hell no. I fix up supper, and then I put on my coat and greatcoat. I do have a greatcoat, you know, that's my heavy overcoat lace. And I walk to Ashland Avenue, which is
Hang on.
about 4 short, very short 4 blocks. It's a saloon, Doc, where all the boys hang out. And so, as I walk in, my mug of beer is ready for me, and we may play hand of 66, and every so often, if the gang is really vicious, they'll throw me for a game of hearts. Never lose. They play for blood, and I play for points, but I never lose. You remember, Doc? I hope you do.
He's laughing, I bet you, right now about the heart game.
Well, I had to bring that in, Liz, because there's one game that I've always liked. And I liked it because I could always beat you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I never lost a game with you. No.
You don't play push hearts over there.
There are very few people who know how to play the game.
Right.
And they play it as they say hearts for blood or hearts for noses or hearts for this, but they don't play it the way we play it.
Right.
We always played it with a sharp razor in our lap.
Right. And a gun.
And so I wouldn't lose a heart game to you. It was the last thing that ever happened in this world. And so help me me, I haven't played a two-handed game of cards, not even a one-hand. I know, but I haven't played a two-handed game with you. I'm getting a little bit excited. I'm beginning to talk a little bit too fast. I'm looking up here at this board. He's got a dot. You can see this coming. He has a blackboard. It says, aha, uh-huh. But as long as there's something to drink, all you have to do is say,